Right, let's do it. Let's go. So today I'm joined by Katy, who is a skin specialist with, and I'm sorry if I get this wrong, but I had a little search and hopefully the numbers are right, but we'll never know. With over 14 years experience in the industry, um, the founder of Clinic by KC, which you had been running for 7 years,
Yeah,
maybe.
that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Um, and of course, you're a fellow Portsmouth girlie. Whoop whoop. Take that as a win. Um, and before I butcher it any more, is there anything that you would like to add? I'd love you to like introduce yourself properly, tell us about who you are, who you work with, and then we'll delve a bit deeper into what's going on at the moment.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you've pretty much just hit the nail on the head. But yes, I have been in the industry for 14 years, have been in the industry since I left college, so for a very long time. I have worked in spa, salon, in medical clinics, have run my own business for 7 years, and I'm now working at Biotherapeutic Clinic in Emsworth as clinic and academy manager.
Mhm.
I am very much a results-driven specialist, so I love the sort of fluffy facials. And yes, I do a little bit of that, but I'm all about results and educating my clients. So I do a lot of work with acne, rosacea, melasma, aging skins, dry skins, compromised skins. I like a task, anything that is a sort of like difficult case, I'm all over it. I love that. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. And I've been at my current position now since October.
That's gone
Yeah, I
fast.
think October. Yeah, it's gone so quick, really quick.
Yeah, so you've had your hand in everything, tried a lot of stuff. Obviously super successful, very hardworking. Um, clearly love a project.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the reasons I was so keen to have this conversation with you. Because when you look at your career and what you have built, it is very successful. And I think a lot of women can relate, and they often relate very quietly. Um, when things might look really good on the outside, and they are really good, doesn't mean they're not good, but you know what I mean. Um, but it might not always feel right where you're at in sort of that place in life, or doesn't feel right anymore. And things might need to change, and that can feel really confusing, I think, because there is a lot of pressure to kind of keep going, in what you're doing.
Yeah, there is. And yeah, we'll probably get into that in a little bit. The like hustle bustle culture is just wild.
Mhm.
Yeah, that I'll have a lot to say about that, but it is, I think, yeah, hopefully this helps people that are either wanting to get in business or are in business, and no one shares like the nitty gritty stuff, and people are so quick to post all the amazing things about business and all the wins, but actually there are also so many lows, which is fine. Like lows mean growth, which is great, but yeah, hopefully this starts uh honest conversations.
Yeah, so with you on that. I think. Well, with the rise of social media, especially, I think life in general has become a bit of a highlight reel, isn't it? And we kind of all talk about the good moments, but what about the in-betweeny moments where you're like, oh, I don't know what I should
Yeah.
do right now. Should it feel like this? I don't know.
That's relatable content. Everyone has crappy days. Sorry to say a horrible word, but everyone has days like that, and I think that is what people relate to. And I respect that a lot when people share the hard times and the negative side of business and life. It's like, oh, okay, I'm not alone. Like
Yeah.
people that I see that are doing really well online, they have those days too. Yeah, I think that does need to be. I am an open person, and I have always been in an environment where I can share my feelings and if I'm having a bad day or whatever, and I'm lucky to have had that. But yeah, I think that that is what makes me attracted to someone, and I really respect that.
Yeah, I love that. So I do hope this conversation encourages that even more, and creates a bigger space for that honesty,
Mm.
around all of it. Um, so with that, I'd love to go back a little bit and start from the beginning. I know you mentioned you've been in I was about to say game then, but industry is a bit of a game.
Okay, yeah.
Since you left college. So what were those early years in your career like for you?
So do you know what? In school, I mean, I've always been a very sporty person, and I always actually thought I would get into physiotherapy or choreography or something in the sports field. Um, but I think you're so young when you have to choose and decide what you want to do. I just chose something. I remember my mum saying to me, if you're not sure, just pick something that you think you're going to enjoy. And I've always been into the beauty industry. Like I love doing my nails, love doing my hair, was interested in makeup and just girly things. And yeah, I just thought, well, why not? I'm going to enjoy it. And I'd rather be doing something that I enjoy than something I'm forcing myself to do. So I went to Highbury College and did beauty therapy, which was more so your massage, your waxing, your manis, pedis. Um, and then it quickly realized, I went to work in a spa actually for a couple of years and loved it. It was really interesting. A lot of actually what I learned in spa, I do in my treatments now, like the whole touch therapies and the holistic side of things. I sort of combine that along with your more medical's a funny term, but a more like results driven approach. So I'm really grateful for the time in the spa, but that was crazy hours and working weekends, and I was happy to put in a shift to prove myself, but I wouldn't want to do it forever. Then I went to work in salon, which was really good. I actually helped a salon, open more of a clinic environment, which really enjoyed doing that. And then was sort of quick to realize that again, salon just wasn't my thing, my niche. And never realized that esthetician or a skin specialist was actually a thing. I thought you just
Yeah.
had to be a bit of an all-rounder and do a bit of everything. And applied for a job in a clinic and got the job as a receptionist, and then were quickly trained to become a skin specialist. I used to assist in minor surgery. I did lots of skin treatments, chemical
Yeah.
peels, skin tightening. That was kind of where I got a feel for this industry and realized like, whoa, I can actually change lives here. Like I'm making people feel good. I'm fixing a problem. Yeah, that's sort of when I realized my love for the industry. Worked alongside some incredible people who I still see now, learned a lot from them, and yeah, worked there for a few years and then decided I wanted to build my own little empire, do things how like the way that I want to do them, take on the brands and the treatments that I believe in and I resonate with, and um morals and everything align, you know.
Yeah.
And that's when I opened my first little clinic
Yeah.
in Portsmouth. That's kind of how it came about. I enjoy making people feel good. I like a challenge. I like to be practical. I like to help people. That yeah, I get to help people all day, every day, and it's hard, but it's so rewarding. And I meet some incredible people along the way.
And, and even I obviously don't know everything about the skincare sort of industry, but I
Yeah,
do know that everyone does it very differently. Everyone has their own thoughts and sort of beliefs and ways of
yeah,
doing things. Um, and it sounds like, and from what I've seen, and I obviously have been to you as well in the past, you have and have stuck to the same sort of way of doing things, which you really had that clear sort of vision, and obviously having that background in um, with the other skin specialists as well.
yeah,
Um, it's really great that you've had that, uh,
yeah.
and how it's
There,
time.
there is a lot of opinion in the industry, and that's fine. I believe. and I've always said like there is enough business to go around. I think it's really important to find someone that you vibe with and gel with. And I mean, it's quite emotional. Like I see people come in and we cry together, and they
Yeah,
come in super. It's vulnerable. Like a lot of
yeah,
people come in a very vulnerable position. So I think you have to click with whoever you're seeing. I think that's really important, and I will never be offended if I'm not the person for you or whoever. I want you to get results, and if that's with someone else, then great. But yeah, I think people have opinions, and that is fine as long as you're working ethically and you're not doing anything that you shouldn't be doing. Then great. I think it's great. I like to learn from other people. I actually take a lot of courses with other practitioners
yeah.
just to
Mhm.
see how they do things and see what I can learn. But yeah, it's I think when I first opened my business, there was maybe two other skin practitioners in the area, or for well, yeah, even down the road. There wasn't many of us at all. And a couple of my clients actually then went on to train as well, which I think is lovely.
Yeah,
I'd like to think I inspired them in some sort of way. Yeah, and now I think it's very up and coming. It's a very popular industry. It's a popular niche.
yeah. And like you say, it's if you don't mesh well with someone, it's a very scary space to be, especially if you want support.
Yeah.
Um, isn't it? Like you say, it is emotional, but it's knowing you have someone that you can trust and trust that things might change. It's sometimes it's a huge challenge.
Oh, absolutely.
Things going on with your skin, and I think unless you've been there, you won't really get it. Do you know what I mean? Um,
We cover a lot of topics in consultation. Mental health is a huge thing, nutrition.
yeah,
Um, I see a lot of people with anxiety and obsessive disorders, and the picking comes into that obsessive compulsive picking disorder is huge. And yeah, you have to. I mean, I'm stay in my scope of practice. I refer out to complementary therapies a lot. I don't want to overstep my qualifications. I'm not a nutritionist, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I like to think I have some understanding, and I do refer people out. And yeah, you have to be confident enough and realize that you can only treat what you can treat.
yeah,
I'm not a nutritionist, but I know people that can help with uh, cases and people's concerns. So yeah, yeah, it's a minefield. There's a lot of emotion that comes into it, and it's not just skin. I speak about all sorts, bowel habits, amongst a lot of other things. So yeah, it's intimate.
yeah.
It's probably the right word.
And showing people that and that you can refer on and things like that, it helps to build that trust, obviously, because um, it shows them that that you are very transparent, and you can only, like you say, stay in that scope. But no, it's really nice to hear that because I think sometimes people try to do everything, and then
Mm,
maybe clients don't get the results that they think that they're going to get.
mm,
But knowing that you've got
yeah.
that can help you with that is amazing.
Just to touch on that as well, because this might be interesting to include, but I had my first masterclass session the other day, and a couple of the practitioners said to me, should I be doing blood work? Should I be offering testing for my clients? And I know a lot of people that do that as well as being a skin specialist, and that is brilliant. But I think it's really important to note that you don't have to do everything.
Yeah,
You absolutely can refer out. I don't want to do blood work. That's not
yeah,
my thing. I enjoy being hands-on. I send people to have blood work done all the time, but you don't have to be everything and you don't have to do everything. It's not sort of like set in stone. You
yeah,
choose what you want to do, and I can like think it's amazing the people that do it all, because blimmin' hell, that's a lot of work. But I think it's important to you shouldn't feel like you're not doing enough
yeah,
because you're not offering everything. I know people that just offer one service. they just do microneedling or they just do pills. There's no right or wrong. And I think it's important to know that what you're doing is enough. You don't have to do everything.
Yeah. It's safeguarding yourself and the patients as well, isn't it? Or client.
Yeah.
Um, but you don't want to miss something, give the promise, and then something gets missed, um, or whatever, anything like that.
Yeah.
And then either you get in trouble or the client is missing out on something that they kind of really need.
Yeah.
It obviously depends on your experience and qualifications, but yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Over-promising and under-delivering
yeah,
is never a good thing. So just you can only do what you can do.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. And of course, after you open the clinic, um, 2020 lockdown happened, everything had to change. And I feel like obviously seeing you from the outside, it might have felt very different. But it felt like you flowed with it. You adapted. Would you say that was the case, or you kind of had to adapt, I suppose, but
Yeah, I mean, I feel like delusion quite literally just carried me through lockdown. I was actually closed for about a year and a half, so it's a really long
wow.
time,
Yeah.
and I'd only been open for 6 months before I had to close. So that was challenging in itself. But I created my Casey cloths in
Yeah.
lockdown and sold thousands of those. So that really helped. I didn't get any grants or anything from the government, so I still had my rent to pay. Luckily, I was in my small clinic at that point, so my outgoings were pretty low, which was a blessing because I don't think I would have been able to survive if not. I did a lot of online consultations, loads. So I set people up with skincare plans and
Amazing.
yeah, I couldn't see them in person, but I tried to help as much as I can with products and yeah, did my Casey cloths. I think I branded a couple of other products at that time. It was manic. I didn't stop working. It was intense. I think I would start working at 7 a.m. and finish at like 10 p.m. But I made it through and I had to do what I had to do to keep the business going. And I did. I survived. A lot of businesses didn't. So I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to keep it going. I'm glad that I looked calm from the outside because I definitely wasn't on the inside. But I made it work. It was, yeah,
Yeah.
I had ideas and I just ran with it. And it was time to get creative and just see what I could do to keep business going and see what there was available for sort of passive income as well. It sort of opened my mind to passive income at that time.
Yeah, yeah, it did. It changed the industry a lot, didn't it? And I've still got my stack of cloths at home. I love
Love
them
that.
still. But no, it's amazing what you've achieved. Especially being open only for 6 months as well. That must
Yeah.
be so scary. Um, but yeah, real learning curve, I suppose.
Mm.
And change things for the future. Do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I learned a lot during that time. I had to survive. I toughened up. I pushed myself out my comfort zone. I had to do a lot online, and yeah, it was scary, but good growth.
Yeah, 100%. So things opened back up. Things started going back to quote normal. Um, Everything felt like it was going well. Then you changed actually. You changed over to the newer clinic. How long
Yes.
into that was that? I can't remember.
I moved into the bigger premises in May 2020. No, sorry, 2022. Um, so it wasn't actually long after I turned to work, but I'd just taken Damien on at that time and I needed bigger space. So that's when I took the bigger premises on. I was a very impulsive decision. I have learned that I am an impulsive person. Um, I know a lot of the girls in our industry. I've had this conversation many a times. But yeah, I took that was when I took the bigger premises on just because I needed the space.
Yeah,
I loved my little clinic, but I just outgrew it. I needed more room.
yeah, amazing. So you had Damien working there, and then Did you have anyone else?
Yeah, there was a couple of girls. I had Philippa who did, I think she's still Perfect Curves, their business name is. She
Yeah.
does lymphatic drainage, massaging. Damien who was self-employed for me but did my treatments, and Sammy Gallia who she's an acupuncture specialist, fertility specialist. She's amazing. Trying to think who else. I think that was it. I never had too many people um in the clinic renting rooms from me. I think that was everyone. But yeah, it was nice. It was like a little wellness hub.
I love that.
Um yeah, it was really everyone that was there was lovely. It was really enjoyable working with the like-minded people.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. Um, and so you were there for a few more years, and then um, I guess something didn't start to feel quite right. I suppose what led up to
Yeah.
you taking sort of a break from everything?
Yeah, so I mean, my business has always done, again, I'm really open. I hope you don't mind the honesty. My business has always done so well,
Yeah,
and I've worked really hard to have the best of the machines and the best devices. They're not just stuff you can buy online. These are medical grade devices. Everything I had, I was really proud to own, and really proud the treatments I was really proud to offer. And oh, I love what I do, and yeah, it's just a lot. I mean, there are so many incredible things about running a business, but it's also really, really hard. Like the work just doesn't stop. And I'm so proud of what I built up. And I think it just got to a point where I lost myself a little bit.
yeah,
My anxiety just went through the roof, and
I can
I
imagine.
had physical symptoms,
Yeah,
as well as mental, like crazy heart palpitations. I had like a 14-hour panic attack one afternoon, which was awful. It was, well, I say afternoon, it was the whole way through the night. And I wouldn't describe myself as an anxious person, but business was so busy, and I'm so grateful for that. But running a business, I think, just mentally drained me. Like I loved having my business, but I don't necessarily think I'm the best business person. I really enjoy managing, but I actually just don't particularly enjoy running a business. And that was really hard to sort of sit with and come to terms with. But it, not everyone's good at it, and I honestly just don't think I am good at running a business. If I'd gone into it with someone, fine, but on my own, I just mentally couldn't handle it, if I'm totally honest. And I mean, I was there for 4 years, and each year I could feel myself just my whole personality and everything about me was just work. I didn't like going out because I was worried that I was going to bump into a client or a potential client, and I don't even drink. So it's not like I'd do anything crazy, but I was so nervous about who I was going to see out in case they were like, oh my God, that's that skin girl, or like, what's she doing in a dress
yeah,
and skirt and heel? Like, I don't know. I got in my head a lot. And yeah, it just, it, I mean, I'm grateful that I was tired doing something that I love doing, but also I was a bit like, come on, Kate, you're miserable, you're not happy, you are anxious, and you're not an anxious person. I'm not sleeping. My relationship was taking a huge toll because I was just on my phone 24/7 working, couldn't switch off. My mum, I remember my parents saying to me, like, what the hell's going on? You're not you. Yeah, I just was just an anxious wreck. And uh, it was a very quick decision when I chose to close the business. I never ever thought that it's something I would have done, and I was actually quite embarrassed about it. But my mental health symptom, I really declined, really declined. I was having such a hard time. Like, to be truthful, I didn't eat for about, I think it was about 6 weeks. I physically couldn't eat. I would gag, and I couldn't sleep. I lost, I think, about 3 stone in the end. It got really, really bad, and I honestly just sat and thought, what on earth? Like, why am I putting my business before myself? If I'm not healthy, I can't run a business anyway. And I give like my job's an energy exchange. I mean, everyone's job is an energy exchange, but I am physically touching
yeah,
people. I cannot, I can't do that. Like I don't want to. put my energy into someone else. And yeah, I just couldn't do it anymore. I just realized that it was not sustainable. I needed to focus on myself. So I made the decision to close, and I think it shocked a lot of people. Um, I was busy, yeah, from the outside, it was great. I was successful, and the business was successful. Like we did really well, but it took its toll on me, and I realized that life's too short. I need to be happy. And if that means closing my business and taking another direction, then that's what I'm going to have to do. And I'm really grateful that I had family to support me financially with closing a business because that's expensive. Um, and just family that was supportive. And Shane was phenomenal. He was literally my rock throughout the entire thing. Some days, even if I couldn't speak, he would just sit with me and hold my hand. And sometimes that's just all you need. He got it. And yeah, so I closed June last year. I took 3 months off, which I only planned to have one, but I wasn't myself still after that first month. I was still a quivering mess. So it ended up that I had 3 months off and I just filled my cup. I went for walks, I saw friends,
Yeah.
didn't think about business at all or what I was going to do. I kind of just took every single day, and this is something Shane said to me, and I actually still practice this now, just excuse me, every single day, um, bite-sized pieces, little chunks, day by day. And yeah, it really, really helped. So 3 months to just refresh and chill out. And then that's when I fell into the job that I'm in now. Um, which yeah, I'm so grateful for. I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. Kelly, my manager, she kind of knew who I was because she followed me online, and it kind of just fell. It sounds so like cheesy and cliche, but it kind of just fell into place. Um, Again, same morals, same values. Biotherapeutic in itself, how they work is very much how I work as a skin practitioner, all about stimulating energy and working with what we have naturally and skin health before skin condition. Everything was it just aligned. Um, and so Kelly was creating a clinic space and said, come and manage it, come and do your thing here with us. And I've sort of been given free rein to do what I want to do. I helped create the treatment menu and they just let me do my thing. So yeah, it was a very, very scary time and very uncertain. And I had no idea where I was going to go or what I was going to do, or even if I was going to stay in the industry, to be honest. But I'm glad I did. And I'm the happiest
Good.
I've ever been. I feel like I've got me back,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is great because I lost myself for a little bit. And I think a lot of people in business do lose themselves.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Like, it's such a big shift that you've been through, and it's amazing how much more aware and in the moment you can be now. Um, it's not an easy decision to make. Obviously, there's so many things to think about, but obviously, it's great you had a really supportive and safe network around you, um, to support you in that decision. But it is such a huge change, and I know when you said that you feel like you're not made for like running a business, but like you say, it is so draining. There's so many things that you have to be thinking about
Mm.
constantly. Um, and you do end up, it's not a 9 till 5. You are, or like you say, on your phone constantly trying to do X, Y, Z, organize everything, make sure it's all running sweet. Um, and even just the admin stuff alone. And like you say,
Yeah.
working with people, you want to be really present for them, but that itself, like you say, is it's a lot of energy to take on, and then take home, um,
Mm.
with yourself. So it is a lot. It is,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I'm so grateful that I had the business because I've learned a lot from it. And if I were to start up again, which I don't think I will, I mean, never say never, but like I've learned a lot, and I'm really grateful that I've been through what I've been through, and uh, yeah, and come out the other side because I would do things very differently.
yeah,
Um, I really would, and I think that's great. And everything that I have learned, like the business side of things and running a clinic, that's transferable skills. So that's something I will keep forever. Yeah, I don't have a physical clinic anymore, but everything I learned from that, yeah, it's transferable. So that, yeah, I'm grateful. It was just a chapter of my story.
Yeah. And I obviously love that you are at the top of your priority list now, as you should be.
Absolutely.
But it's easy to let yourself sort of slip because you think, oh crap, I need to do this thing, I need to do that thing.
Yeah.
I'll come later. Um, and then later never comes, and it does build up over time. But
Yeah.
I do love like filling your cup every way, finding every day, I mean, um, and finding ways to do that because I think these experiences as well, because it does take over a bit, and then it's kind of
Mm.
learning how you enjoy filling your cup as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Easy change.
I, I think that's really, yeah, that's so important. Like boundaries as well. I was terrible. Like I'd just do anything at any time of the day. I'd wake up at like 2 a.m. with an idea and sit up and then like write down, like, honestly, just nuts behavior. I think hustle and bustle is great, and like I'm all up for this girl boss energy. Like, yeah, great. Like I'm here to empower women, and I think women are incredible. But I also think that understanding your boundaries and understanding when you are at your limit and you need a break,
Yeah.
like I think that's also phenomenal. I think it's really important to learn when you're sort of at your tether and you need to have a creative break. Like having a break is fine. I am my most creative when I've come back from holiday or when I'm on holiday because I'm resting my brain.
Yeah.
And I think again, every time you'll see someone, I remember I'd have a day off and I'd watch an Instagram story and be like, oh my God, that person's worked really hard today. Oh, I need to work really hard. I'd feel guilty for sitting and just actually spending time with my family or relaxing. And that is just no way to live. So yeah, I think having a business and working for yourself and making that money is a sexy thing, but also understanding, yeah, your boundaries and your mental health and being able to relax, that's also sexy. So yeah, I think people are understanding this, and I hope it is a new movement that's gonna stay. Um, oh, Claire, I think my battery's gonna die. Let me just, can I swap to my phone?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Go for it.
But yeah, I think like yeah, the hustle and bustle culture is brilliant, and yeah, the girl boss energy is fantastic and making your money is great, but I do believe that it's also really great to understand when you have when you're yeah when you're at your tether, when you need a break, and that is okay, that is allowed, and that is a part of business. I think that everyone should take a day off a month to have a creative break anyway. I was saying I am my most creative when I'm on holiday or when I've got back from holiday, because I've actually allowed myself to reset and take a break and yeah, come back with a ton of ideas. So yeah, if the whole business is closing and starting quite literally fresh has taught me anything, it's that I overworked myself. I didn't nurture myself. I was just quite literally running on fight and flight. Fight, is that what it's called? Fight or flight mode for probably like the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, I understand myself a lot better, and I've learned a lot about myself from it all. So yeah, I'm grateful for that, and will be the first person to tell someone in my inbox, slow down.
Yeah, it's knowing the signs and knowing when to push and when not to push, and like you say, when to take a break and think, and before it actually gets to the point where you think, fuck everything.
Yes. Well, yeah, quite literally when you are at breaking point,
Yeah.
and that is absolutely where I was. I honestly think that probably for the last 3 years, my body has been throwing me warning signs and saying like, baby, you need to slow down because you are going to have a mental breakdown. And I would just push through it and ignore it because I thought that that's what I needed to do. And I honestly think that me having this, I call it a meltdown, but just I was like on 0% battery is probably the best way to describe it, and everything just shut down. I honestly think it was my body's way of saying to me, if you are not going to slow down, I'm going to make you slow down.
I'm gonna do it for you.
Yeah, yeah. And I think a lot of people experience that, and they wonder why I don't know, so many people are having mental health episodes. And
Mm.
yeah, I mean, people are being diagnosed left, right, and center. And I mean, it's a good thing because people are getting the care that they need, but we're overworked. We work too hard. We don't fuel our body with good foods because everything is just full of crap. They don't teach us how we need to look after our bodies and how we need to look after our minds. And I think that's a huge part of it as well. Yeah, I mean, it all links together.
And I think the message sometimes as well is that we're not trying hard enough. And it's like, hang on a minute, I'm trying really bloody hard, actually. Uh,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you just burn out in all sorts of avenues. And then,
Mm.
like you say, lots of different parts of life starts to get impacted. And it's kind of like this cycle, isn't it?
Yeah, everything is impacted. My relationship with myself was impacted. I didn't respect myself. I was snappy with everyone around me because I was just stressed. And it affected mine and Shane's relationship because I just wasn't a nice person to be around. Yeah, it's not, I mean, business was great, but everything else was just
Yeah.
it's up. So yeah, it was a crazy, crazy move, and I think it shocked a lot of people. But I actually had to make that decision because I was in a very bad place, and I had to prioritize myself, and I don't feel guilty for that. I'm grateful that I learned what I learned from it, and I can take that and move forward and be a better person and be a better person for everyone else around me as well.
Yeah. I suppose it is kind of like redefining what success looks like for you, like yourself as an individual. Like you say, it's money is great. Money rules the world and runs everything.
Mm.
But, if everything else isn't following as well, that is pretty tough. So I suppose if you could give everyone a piece of advice on sort of how to take a pause and think, actually, how can I make that next step about me and not other people or to do with work and career? What advice would you give to help people like take that pause and think, right, I'm going to do me now?
Mm. That's a good one. I think I think deep down we know when we're overworked and we know when we're stressed. I think we just choose to ignore it because it's easier. And sometimes there's like a deeper meaning to why you're stressed, and it's very hard to do self work. It's again, you're putting yourself in a vulnerable position, and that's uncomfortable. And a lot of people don't like sitting with that. It's hard, just really hard. So I think a lot of people just carry on because it's easier than actually addressing why you're stressed or facing the truth. So my advice would be sit with yourself, listen to yourself. Counseling is wonderful. I see a counselor and I will continue to do so. I don't think that's a shameful thing. I think it's a really powerful thing, and I think more people should do it. Yeah, I mean, listen to your body, listen to your mind, listen to those little niggles that you get, and you decide to just throw to the back of your mind and not think about because they're important. Um, just to be kind to yourself. Like we're not superheroes. You don't have to do everything. There is no race, there is no rush. You're not competing against anyone. You're only competing against yourself. So if you run down, you're not going to be good to anyone, let alone yourself. So yeah, just be gentle, be kind. Sometimes it's good to take a pause and to take a step back. Everyone does it. Um, and yeah, listen to your mind. That's probably the best. Yeah, that's probably the best thing that I can advise is to just listen to yourself, be kind to yourself,
Yeah,
and also listen to those around you because sometimes when you're in that state, they know you better than you know yourself.
yeah, I love that. That is such an important bit of advice there. And I think the listeners will take comfort in that, and that will be very, very helpful.
Yeah,
But
it's, do you know what? When I announced that I was closing, I had hundreds, like not being dramatic, hundreds of businesses message and say that they were in a similar position or they were thinking of closing too, and that it's just got too much. And yeah, like business is hard. I mean, they don't make it easy for you to run a business and make money. Like my outgoings were nuts. And I was VAT registered, so I had the privilege but also stress of that. And yeah, I mean, they don't make it easy for you to run a business if you feel like you're penalized with everything that you do and every single bit of money that you make. Like it's just, oh my God, I had a great day. Oh, okay, great. But then I've got this bill coming, all that. There's always something, which is again a privilege, but also it's a lot of stress.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I think tons of businesses messaged said they were in the same position and that they wanted to close. They didn't know how to do it. How did I get out of the business? How did I get out of my lease? What about my machines that I had on finance? There's so much to it, and it was really scary. But again, bite-sized pieces, break it all down. But it was really interesting actually just to see how many people felt the same as me and how many businesses were in the same position. It really opened my eyes. And I had a lot of very honest, open conversations with a lot of different businesses. And hopefully that helped in some way. And hopefully this podcast helps as well, because yeah, I know that it's not just me.
yeah, yeah. And the cost of things is rising still, and it's going to
Yeah.
continue to rise. And you think the pros that come with have being your own boss and having that freedom, and you start to think, well, actually, I'm actually working 70 hours a week. And okay,
Yeah.
it's getting more expensive. And I think actually weighing it up, like you say, it's a lot of things to think about. And I think, yeah, like you say, them evaluating that on a sort of individual basis is good, and making sure that things are still aligning, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's important. Yeah, just you have to stay in tune with yourself. Stay in tune with yourself, listen to yourself, delegate tasks. You can't do everything. It's fine to have an assistant, it's fine to ask for help. That's another thing people are really ashamed of, is asking for help. And I did. I took on yeah, even giving up your social media, like my sister did my social media, and it was an absolute godsend. It saved me hours of time.
Yeah,
That's a job in itself. So delegate your tasks that someone else can do, and prioritize your clients and prioritize making money and prioritize your personal time as well.
100%. And I think as well, another thing with asking for help, it is scary because sometimes you feel like you should know everything.
Mm,
But every opportunity is going to be like a growth opportunity. And like you say, it does open you up to get some life back, but also
yeah.
like other areas of your business can thrive more, the where you want to put your focus into more. Um, but just before we finish up, got a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Want to talk about what you're doing now? Because obviously it's very exciting. I keep seeing little snippets of what you've been up to. So I suppose, what does a actual day to day look like for you now? And what sorts of things have you been up to?
So yeah, I have a really lovely sort of like varied, balanced week now. So I am 3 days in clinic, so 3 days doing treatments. Pretty much everything I was doing for myself anyway, so it's all very familiar. And then I do a day and a half of training, master classes. I do webinars online for Biotherapeutic and speak to a lot of their partners and accounts, which is great. I really enjoy the education side, so it's nice that I get to do a bit of both. But yeah, typically 3 days of treatments. A lot of my clients have followed me over, so I'm still seeing a lot of the same people, but I have seen a lot of new faces as well, which is wonderful. And I've just started hosting masterclasses, which I really enjoy, and I'm really grateful that I've been given the space to be able to do that. So at the moment, I'm hosting mastering extractions masterclasses. So I had two lovely girls come down from Cheltenham and one gorge girl come down from Gosport, and we spent the day just chatting everything extractions. Which if you like pimple popping, then this is heaven. So I teach how to extract safely, what to extract, what not to extract, different types of congestion within the skin, different methods. And masterclasses are great because I get to meet new people, I get to chat all day, and I get to share my experience and my knowledge, but also learn from other people too. So I'm only offering one topic at the moment, but I've been asked to requested a lot of other topics. So masterclasses is something I'm going to continue with. I'm hoping to get my teacher's qualification course so I can actually offer accredited training for biotherapeutic, which is exciting. Um, yeah, that's kind of what my days look like. I work wonderful hours. I have lots of time for family and friends, which is great. My work life balance is spot on. I'm up in Emsworth. We're in a beautiful location. Do you know Emsworth very well?
Yeah, yeah.
It's stunning. So we're quite literally just on the cusp of Westbourne. We've got a little a little lake,
Oh, beautiful.
river, lake. Oh, not a lake, a river that runs past our clinic. We've got a beautiful bit of land, and there's like little deer that jump in the summer, and it's stunning. I'm very happy.
That itself, like that change of environment, I can imagine that's
Yeah.
very therapeutic anyway.
I feel like I'm on holiday every day. It's nice to come out of Portsmouth to a very countryish type setting and just chill, have fun all day, make people feel good all day, and then come back. Yeah, it's lovely. It's a beautiful clinic. We've got a lot planned for the future. We've sort of only just got started with the clinic side of things, so the women that I work with are incredible, and yeah, I'm really grateful to be where I am because their business is fantastic, the brand's fantastic. We create our own devices and skincare lines, so yeah, it's fun to be a part of that and to be able to share my knowledge
Yeah.
and help their business grow as well. We sort of work in synergy, so yeah, it's perfect.
Do you still get a chance to use your very creative, innovative brain as well, which is
Yeah,
in. Um,
daily. Yeah, that it's full on, but it's fun, it's manageable, and it's a nice workload.
Good. And when you talk about it, then you're like absolutely beaming when you talk about that.
Cringe.
No, no, but it's exciting. I love
Yeah.
it. And oh, I don't know if you've thought much into the future. And I know you're talking about your teacher qualifications, which is very exciting too. But is there anything else that we can expect from the future, or are you just taking it as it comes at the moment? And
Yeah, taking it as it comes. I'm really happy with where I'm at now. I always plan to. I'm constantly doing education and learning for myself anyway. So constantly sort of upping my knowledge and trying to improve my services. So always that. Um, but yeah, it's the teacher's qualification and just boosting biotherapeutic, boosting their business, boosting myself and my education, and just enjoying what I do. With our industry, there is always something new to learn. There is always new formulation to get to grips with, a new science study. It's never ending, and that's one of the many wonderful things about our industry.
yeah,
So yeah, just enjoying where I'm at in this moment in time and seeing what opportunities get thrown at me.
love it. Amazing. And of course, if people do want to find you, if they don't know who you are, where can they find you?
So the best place to find me and Biotherapeutic is through my Instagram. So Katie C Skin, Katie with a Y, and Biotherapeutic or BT Skin Clinic. That is our Instagram handle name. So I post tons of education videos, before and after photos. Yeah, it's I try and keep Instagram fun but also educational. So yeah, you can find me there on those two pages. And yeah, it'd be nice if I get to see some new faces from this.
Yeah. Yeah, but thank you. Obviously, it's a very important message. And just bringing, like you say, actually being honest about how everything runs and how everything looks, and just being having honest conversations around careers and business, I think is very important. And obviously prioritizing ourselves, which you are doing very well. But
Yeah.
thank you for having this conversation.
Thanks for having me. I've really enjoyed it, and yeah, I hope that even if someone's taken like a little nugget of something I've said, I hope it helps someone. And yeah, I've really enjoyed it. So thanks for having me.
It's been amazing, obviously hearing about your story, um, and learning about everything that goes into it all. But no,
Never ending, as you
yeah,
know.
yeah, and it's exciting to see where you're at, and all the things that you're up to and going to be up to as well. So I'm excited to see more of that.
Yes, and we'll have to get our online live for skin Q and answers and Q and answers, question and answers, and how nutrition supports skin health. And yeah, we'll definitely get that planned and get some dates posted. So if
Yeah.
anyone's interested, we'll do that soon, definitely.